They just made a major statement as the Toronto Blue Jays come out and beat the Boston Red Sox in a crazy extra innings game. And quite frankly, this was a game the Jays had no business winning. They come out, they fight back, something we haven't seen from the past couple of years. They win this one, they win the series. And most importantly, on the day that Vladimir Guerrero Jr.'s extension was made official, the Jays get the dub, but they remain atop of the AL East, going those so far 3-0 against the Boston Red Sox. There's a ton of things to go over today. We're going to break that down as well as discuss some crazy performances from two key bullpen guys. A ton of things to go over today, folks. But before we get into it, if you're enjoying the daily content, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Your guys' support has been absolutely unbelievable. We are on the road to 17,000 subscribers. If you want to help us towards that big goal of 17,000 subscribers, make sure to hit that subscribe button. We have videos after almost every game, multiple videos a day, the latest Jays news. Let's dive right into it. What a crazy game today. If you missed this game, you missed a pitcher's duel. You missed one of the crazier ones, but I got you covered in this video. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to start right with the pitching. And in a game and a day where Vladimir Guerrero Jr.'s extension was made finalized, vibes are high, everything is feeling good. The Jays are coming off of back-to-back wins against the Boston Red Sox. They come out and in a miracle find a way to win this game. Now, Kevin Gausman was the shining star of today's game. He went 8 innings, 10 strikeouts, 4 hits, no earned runs. And I mentioned in the intro that a couple pitchers had fantastic games out of the bullpen. The biggest storyline was Kevin Gausman. He went 8 innings, gave up no runs. And ladies and gentlemen, that first run that he gave up, that was not earned off of the Kirk Wild pitch, or Wild throw to second base on the steal. It was the only run the Boston Red Sox scored that game. The only run the Jays scored was also in the first inning until the 11th, which we'll dive into a little bit later with Bichette. But man, oh man, what a disgusting outing from Kevin Gausman. 8 innings, no runs, 93 pitches, 10 strikeouts in the freezing cold. No one could seem to get hits tonight off him, and no one could seem to really get hits off the Red Sox pitcher either. It was at a point where Tanner Houck was dealing, and then you have Kevin Gausman dealing. It was a pitcher's duel, and you're thinking, who's going to score first here? The Jays ultimately did towards the end. But man, oh man, it was a fantastic game. When I meant score first, I meant score first half of the first inning, because of course both teams scored in the first. Let's dive into it, and I'll come back to the bullpen in a minute here, but let's dive into the game. So Bichette went hitless. We'll revisit that in a minute because he obviously was the most important at-bat of this game. Vladdy went 3 for 5, all singles. He's still not getting the ball elevated yet. He's not, hitting home runs, but he's doing some things. Anthony Santander, very slow start, but he did have a couple of really hard hit balls, including a hit. You have Andres Jimenez looking fantastic. Will Wagner looked okay. He got an RBI in this game. And man, oh man, in a game where you're resting by far your hottest hitter in George Springer, to still win that one is absurd. The bottom of the order did absolutely nothing tonight. Kirk, Roden, Clement, and Lucas went a combined 0 for 16. Alejandro Kirk has been a bit of a problem this season offensively, but he keeps getting brought up in games where he has runners in scoring position. If you look at the stats in his career and all these different things, he is a horrible batter in high leverage situations with runners in scoring position. And I would like for Alejandro Kirk to use some situational hitting a little bit more than he has been, because you have bases loaded, 2 outs, you do not get a run, which is fine. You have a man on third, man on first and second, you get with 0 outs, by the way. So all you have to do is move one of the runners over. This was, of course, in one of the late innings there. Wasn't in the extras, one of the late innings. You don't even move him over. You're ground to a double play and the inning's over. I want Alejandro Kirk, and I'm not trying to be negative for this game, but I do hope that he figures it out soon, because he's been a huge hole in the lineup, and clearly, he is a big ground ball double play guy, and it's something that really can suck the life out of the team, because the Jays had multiple opportunities. But regardless of that, in a game where George Springer wasn't playing, he did have a pinch hit opportunity, smoked the ball, but regardless of that, it was interesting. But at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, Bichette, you're talking about, the pitching is a story here. Talking about extra innings, Bichette was able to get a sac fly to drive the runner home after a very productive at-bat from Nathan Lucas to move the runner over from second to third in the top of the 11th. But regarding the pitching, and we'll revisit Kevin Gausman a little bit later, Jeff Hoffman was the star of, I can't even say the star of the show because Kevin Gausman was that. He comes out and not only gets a clean hitless, albeit he gave up a walk, but a hitless bottom of the ninth, sorry. He comes out and doesn't give up a run with the ghost runner in the bottom of the 10th. He's fired up. He's striking out everybody. He was absolutely pumped up. And to have a closer like Jeff Hoffman to be able to go out, have a 7-pitch bottom of the 9th inning, 7-pitch against the 1-2-3 in the order, and then to come back out after with the ghost runner and to get him out, it was insane to watch. And again, when Jordan Romano was let go by the Jays, people were wondering, what are they doing? They go out, they get the better closer, and Jeff Hoffman. This was a huge game for the Toronto Blue Jays and a huge game for Jeff Hoffman. But I got to give credit to Nick Sandlin. The Jays obviously come out, they get a 1 run in the top of the 11th. Again, Nathan Lucas grounded out. And then, of course, Bichette moved over. Bichette was up next. Andres Jimenez moved over to third. Also, shout out to the MLB rulebook. Let me know down below if you had any idea about that rule. In case you missed the game, if you're a starting pitcher, because of course the Jays pinch hit for the DH, which then meant, and then Jeff Hoffman, George Springer, he got out. So then Jeff Hoffman was up pitching. So then he got the 1-2-3 inning. So then Jeff Hoffman's spot was up in the batting order, but technically he would be the ghost runner. So there's a rule that if the pitcher is the ghost runner in the extra innings, meaning of course the ghost runner is the last guy that got out, you could actually just let the guy run who was before. So again, George Springer got out. So technically the pitcher then, because Jeff Hoffman replaced George Springer and all these different things when he was pitching because the DH, regardless of that, we got Jimenez at second base, which was a very interesting rule. Let me know if you knew about that weird rule. But this rule allowed not only the Jays to not have to use a pinch runner, they kept Andres Jimenez out there, but it also allowed Jeff Hoffman to go back out. Obviously, the pinch runner didn't matter. They didn't score Andres Jimenez. But Jeff Hoffman was able to go back out there and score. Pitch, the bottom of the 10th. And insane game. Just a bunch of weird things. And then Nick Sandlin comes out. Absolutely filthy. The guy we get in the trade for Andres Jimenez and Nick Sandlin. It's looking like an absolute heist already. Oh, man, I am absolutely fired up. And Nick Sandlin, look, filthiest slider I've ever seen this season. He was on his A game. Good bullpen management by John Schneider as well. And Jeff Hoffman through 2 innings only pitched 20 pitches. And again, he started in the past. He's good. Who knows if it'll be good to go tomorrow. But to have even the confidence in Jeff Hoffman to go out twice, get 1 inning out with, of course, without the ghost runner, and then get another inning with the ghost runner, and then have Nick Sandlin come out 9 pitch, bottom of the 11th to get a 1-2-3 inning for the Blue Jays to win, following Kevin Gausman's outing. The boys offensively did a horrible job tonight. Like, it wasn't a great offensive game. I'm not trying to say it was at all. It was a bad one. You got the job done. There's going to be games like this. It's freezing cold in Boston, all these different things. The Jays got the win. The record has improved. And not only has the record improved, they remain atop the AL East. These are games you need to win. This is going to be a brutal gauntlet of games in April. Baltimore is struggling. You play them starting on Friday. You're now 3-0 against the Red Sox, 2-2 against the Orioles. Of course, you got swept by the Mets. Weird series. It is what it is. The Jays have come back out against AL East opponents, and these could be the games that matter as it pertains to tiebreakers, as it pertains to just playoff seeding, but tiebreakers especially. The Jays have struggled against the AL East the past couple years to come out against a very good Boston Red Sox team. You win against Garrett Crochet yesterday. You're going out today. The team looks good. The top of the lineup still hasn't really gotten it going. Santander hasn't looked good. Vladdy hasn't gotten his power going. Things are going to pick up in a game. You don't have George Springer. Dalton Varsho is returning somewhat soon. You have Eric Swanson still on the IL. This team is looking very good. And for the first time in a very long time, ladies and gentlemen, the Toronto Blue Jays are not only fun to watch, they are not only having, and shout out the starting rotation in general, the starting rotation looks filthy. They are playing some of the best baseball I've seen in, I can say at least the last year, because last season was absolutely brutal. Ladies and gentlemen, Jays go for the sweep tomorrow, their second sweep of the year, with Chris Bassett on the hill. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know down below what your thoughts are. I mean, I am over the moon. A crazy game. They didn't deserve to win this one. Their bats were awful. Boston just threw the game away. The Jays win. Cheers.